We're going to be starting off Feedback Friday. It's March 5. Almost forgot the date. And we got some game fuel to get us through the... Hopefully we don't crash today, because Twitch was being very annoying last night. All right. Feedback Friday start out. First questions we had, what version did you first play Perisno? Not sure why it corrected me, but top 10 or whatever. The most is actually was kind of expected, 0.7 in that area. So what I do, 0.7 onwards till 0.8. So if it was like the patch notes, whatever, 0.7, 0.71, whatever, we just go with that. 18 of the votes went to 0.7 and corresponding to the 0.8 with 13, 0.9 had 15. And didn't have a lot of newer ones. We had a total of 69 responses for this week's Feedback Friday. Perfect number too. We had 72 last week for the first one. We'll go over through some more in-depth responses. We had a few that I had to remove or I will not be showing for obvious reasons. People seem to like inputting certain stuff. All right. This is a very basic question. We had earlier 0.5. Kind of a few OGs here before 0.5. Not a lot. 0.7 gang is up here. And 1.0, 1.1, and 1.2. We had a couple of those as well. And it's been too long for me to remember, but there was a custom battles mode. It is still available. Rhino mode. That was a while ago. I think that was back in 0.7, if I'm not mistaken, or 0.6. So this guy's been around for a while. I don't know what number it was, but when you change the name of the elf... Oh, we got to delete this. I don't know what an elf is. From Redwood and Bluewood. Greenwood. We never had Greenwood elves. So that was back in 0.6 and on. Next one, 0.7, the elves. Another word we can't say here. Does still wear blue Tea Party outfits. I don't remember those Tea Party outfits. And 0.75, I guess their version before winter is coming, I'm for sure. I remember Ellen Torres wrote it back then. So most of the responses that actually wrote them out were in 0.7 area for Ellen Torres and Redwood. This guy remembers Greenwood. I don't. So good for you. Second question. These are a lot more in-depth here. What is your favorite custom troop to use? Doesn't have to be. Some of you guys were a little confused by this, but it's all right. You got some pretty decent responses. We'll go through this, some of them, not all of them, just too many. Medium to heavy armor troops with spears and throwing weapons. So heavy level archers with dwarven crossbows, heavy armor. Master crossbows, hard sharpshooters, halberdiers, whatever. And a mix-up Telranian and Realm of the Falcon assets to create a new, unique Telranian bow-wielding knight. That is interesting. I want to see a picture of that. Whoever made this troop, send me a picture. DM me. I want to see this. And the two factions have been close allied. I think I know what's going on here. You gave yourself away. Or wait, no. I don't know who this is. Raise human making heavy infantry because I love playing using infantry. I think I butchered that, or whoever wrote that butchered it. Hakan, veteran legionnaire. Sut Bonebreaker. Sut Bonebreaker. Do we have a Sut Bonebreaker? Am I that out of it? Man. Oh, we do. That's how little I work with the Suts right now. Man, we do. Okay. Heavy horse archer of some kind. Do not remember the exact build. Okay. There are two rules for in-guard troops. One is fashion over function. I lied. There is only one. That's good. Heavy horse archers or play guards mounted at Rolo bomb throwers. Okay. Elka Falcon. We got mounted crossbowmen. Realm of the Falcon overall. There are nice armors at both Geldor and Telrania. That's the second one that came out for Realm of the Falcon and Telrania. Yeah. No, you're fine. I like winning, so it's usually just the most OP thing that I can make. I suppose that's fair. Wolf Knight. Wolf Knights. There's a lot of responses here. Pretty much any Falcon troop, all crossbows, the rock but mounted. The rock but... Okay, that's cool. Flair household troops in strength. Yeah, yeah, I get it. So inverse, your custom merc's getting a lot of this, which I expected. Other custom troop build like Ingvar's. Custom troops again. Most of the skirmishers and heavy knights. That's expected. And master crossbow. I'm actually surprised how many people like the crossbow. I guess I don't prefer it myself, but hey, it's what it is. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Speeding through this because we got a lot to go through, and nothing new in the Discord chat. You can, if anyone wants to chime in, just don't be afraid or whatever, or type whatever. All right, what factions do you look forward to getting a facelift new assets the most in Bannerlord and or Warband? So this was, I think, one of the more interesting responses because I try to get these by number. Realm of the Falcon was way at the top. I did not expect that, honestly. And I grouped these three together, Elentor, Nephali, and Geldor. Grouping these three together, Elentor was way ahead of the others, Nephali in general. If someone responded with both Geldor and Elentor, there was a few of them. I just grouped them as Nephali. And I was kind of disappointed because a lot of you still said elves, and I don't know what that is, so I couldn't put it down. So it is what it is. The Hakan, Mokavi at 7, Reich des Rachen. We had a few Perisno, Cretus, Illica Falki. Same thing with the Nephali. I grouped these two together, responses. And Giants, Telrania. Kind of surprised how few Telranians we had because we've got quite a few Telranian people in the chat. So not sure what happened there. Non-human factions and dwarves, minor factions, wolf knights, whatever. And now to the bottom four, Arulo, Kulan, Venator, and Drahara. I'm just going to delete this because who cares about Venator? Just kidding. These four will not be getting any love at all because Arulo's going to be gone, Kulan's going to be gone, Venator's going to be volcanoed, and Drahara's getting wiped out. So there's really no point in Bannerlord assets for these besides minor factions, and then it's going to be iffy. All right, on to the next part. Just a few responses. The Kingdom of Perisno, which feels weird to say, but I almost never chose the base Perisno culture. Just because, while it's good, it can't really be compared to stuff like the Reich or elves. Don't know what elves are. Which I can get, but still. Let's put it down here. That's an interesting response, because I feel the Kingdom of Perisno is, I think, one of the better looking troop tree factions, in my opinion, but hey. Alentar and Urgeldar, most regarding the skill armors that some of them use. Fair enough. For Warband, I was thinking about Realm of the Falcon, maybe like new armor and helm style, just like not always white, make sure. This response was suggested a lot, which mirrors the 9 up here, because a lot of the people went Realm of the Falcon and they want to see a new style, it seems, or update the style, because the white seems like a Gondor ripoff, which it is. It is a Gondor ripoff. Gondor from Lord of the Rings, because that's basically what it is, their armor. Cretus, they need to fancier assets. Geldar, they need their own armors, not just recolors. That's fair too, they do. Geldar needs a big facelift because I don't like their armor at all, in my opinion. The Illica Falki, the Cretus Illica Alliance sounds promising, and it would be nice to give me new assets and beef their own. Yeah, I agree. That's probably one of my top ones. We had a guy making some Illica Falki assets earlier, but they're probably going to get redone again. I think he lost his files or something, but the direction he went might get changed. It's going to be up. It's going to be different in Bannerlord, I guess. Realm of the Falcon in Bannerlord. Another Realm of the Falcon right here. That's the second or third one we've had. They have super strong troops, and the new engine should show that. True. I'm actually excited to see what we can do with this for the Realm of the Falcon. For Warband, I look forward to the Reich actually using their dragon symbol and having less dull-looking armors. I'll be showing you guys a few new armors we have for the Reich, and actually using the dragon symbol. Good catch there. Bandits, Eagle Knights, and miscellaneous units. I feel like a lot of the big factions feel pretty good, but being able to build a unique troop tree that's completely yours is what brings me to Perisno. Ingvars for the win. That's a typical response. I like that. Another Realm of the Falcon. Need to break away from the Gondor. We went over that a few times already. The Nephali, they look like Telranians besides the bows. They do not. No, I don't agree with that one, but I agree they need changed, but they don't look like Telrania. It's an odd statement. Our first Macavia of the day is overdue for some love, and I sincerely look forward to the new Realm of the Falcon aesthetic, whatever that may be. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised at the Realm of the Falcon responses. It's, yeah. Elves that food I can eat. Yes, we will have a elven invasion in 1.56, and they're going to get crushed worse than the Zandu. All too human. How's it going? Mr. Radov. Oh, sweet. I didn't want to show that. All right, let's keep going. Both Giants and Cretus Illicafalci hope that the Giants are added to remove the Chaos symbol and are more unified. Yes, I agree. Even though the Giants are going to be more of a minor faction in Bannerlord, hopefully we can get some nice assets from them too. First Hakan of the day. Sucks by far the most, but hey, everyone seems to hate them in Discord, so that's probably fine. No, nobody hate. Well, Sadina Alexis, it's her fault. So Drahara has very few things as well. Every single mod with some kind of Arabs uses the same ass as Warband. I don't care about Bannerlord so far. I suppose. I'd like to see a new and improved Drahara in Bannerlord. I've got news for you, buddy. You're not going to see a new and improved Drahara in Bannerlord. Well, not on a large scale anyway. Elantor right now, they just feel like the generic elven fact. Oh, God. Have we not gone through this yet? There's no... Oh. Archer spam would be nice to find some unique stuff with them. Illican Empire and Bannerlord. Alright, cool. So, going through all this, a lot of Realm of the Falcon stuff. If you guys don't like Khan, I get it. And some guys want Drahara, which you're not going to get. Illican Cretus, but more or less, Realm of the Falcon by almost a big majority, followed by Elantor. So, that biggest surprise is right there. So, we had a Venator as well. Not sure who that would be, but all right. And I think this is the last Feedback Friday question. Which faction do you feel the most unsatisfied with in their current state? Which kind of goes along with the last question, but just a different kind of wording. And most unsatisfied. Man, this stuff is giving me... All right, Cretus is number one with 6 responses with this. Giants, Dwarves, Hakan, Reich des Drachen, Talrania. The Dwarves, that happened twice. I missed that, so let's make that 7. So the Dwarves are now on top because I had them doubled. Yay to me. Totally missed that. So the Dwarves have the most responses, not Cretus. And we might have some goodies coming for the Dwarves eventually. Can't share anything on that yet, but they might get some love. Elantor, Realm of the Falcon. I suppose that's fair. The Tsan, Wolf Knights, Grazier, Macavia, Nephali, and Inahun. And we had a lot of responses for Valhir, Drahara, Kuvalan, and Venator. Unsatisfied. I am too. I'm unsatisfied with Venator. I'm surprised not everyone voted for Venator. You should have. Obviously, you didn't read the question correctly. Yes, Hakan sucks who gave their household troops. Trash. I wonder what created... Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I agree. But, I don't know. I'm still surprised Venator got only 1 vote. I mean, or 2 votes for most unsatisfied. You must not play Venator a lot. Because they're the most basic, generic Roman ripoff faction, the whole mod, or the whole, any mod. I got some juicy responses too, so. Venator sucks eggs. Yes, you're one of my best friends now. Arminius Fittywinks. I like you. You're smart. All right, they are, but they need more castles. That's true. They're going to expand in Bannerlord, so they don't need more castle lords. They're going to get Sut eventually. All right, continuing on. I kind of group these together so I don't go from one faction to the next. It would be nice if the Kaikoth Confederation had more of everything, but they're just well-rounded. The Valador clan could use some maybe something other than just axes. I don't know. They seem just a bit bland. They're a typical Viking raider faction, I suppose, the Valador clan. The Kaikoth, they don't seem to do much. Kaikoth, they're in the map. I just never really have a reason to go there. Their stuff is cool, but would love to have more stuff to do. Yeah, they're a secluded faction. I agree with that, but obviously Kulan, because they're like Falcons without steroids, also besieging them. GG. I even start my kingdom by taking their piece of cake lonely town. Poor Kulan. The dwarves feel lackluster. Not too many good-looking armors, and they always get wiped out. What? No, they don't. I've played 400-day games. They never even got touched. What kind of game are you playing? That's an interesting response. Fight axe and make Grazier great again. Yeah, make Grazier great again. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright, Bakal, Venator, and Cretus. Cheating by saying 3, but it feels like 1. Like more could be done for them. Bakal, others are the Giants. Yeah, Venator, nope, I don't care about Venator. And Cretus, yes. Cretus, they get wept out incredibly quickly without mass player intervention. They could use an extra castle. Another guy saying that. Cretus, because they always die, lol. Cretus, because they always get wiped out. And while they're a cool faction with awesome history and similar looking units, they, basically the wiped out thing. People don't like them getting wiped out so quickly. What you could do is help them or just use them as your culture when you start a new faction for now. Very few Telranian responses. We have 2 of them. Telrania has always been terrible. 1.0, Insidriums, firebombs, always. And the latest changes have done nothing to change that. They're lucky to survive past the town invading. I got nothing. I feel that Telrania is a bit oddly balanced, with extremely useful troops surrounded by fairly weak ones. That's an interesting response, or an interesting observation. Also, their neighbors tend to counter them on their weakest points and surpass them even on their strongest. Drahara may need some slightly more standardized troops as well, since they're very glass cannons by nature of the opinion. Interesting feedback on Telrania, though some of that might be true. Going to Drahara. Barely mediocre archers, shitty infantry with exceptions, mediocre lances. I don't really care much about Drahara. They're also one of the generic factions that kind of need an overhaul or a change. They always wipe out factions, survive the Zan invasion. They could be, well, the Zan attack all the way at the other end of the continent. That's pretty obvious they're going to survive it. And they're going to get removed anyway, so I would say dwarves. For now, I feel it was Valahir. Well, make up your mind. Because I feel like the archers are bad. Well, Valahir's getting canned too, so one of these days. We got 2 Reich responses. It brings a semi-decent heavy calf to the table, but is lacking everything else. So this is one response. You must not be playing the Reich right. You must not be playing the Reich a lot, because I feel their archers are pretty good. Their cav is very good. Their infantry is not bad either. Their siege units are incredibly good. So I played them a lot, and I completely disagree with this statement. So even then, they're always better heavy cav troops to find, so it makes the Reich semi-redundant. Nah, I just don't feel that way, I guess. In every run, they get swarmed. This is another interesting response. In my playthroughs, they always take over a lot of territory, so that's kind of strange. So 2 interesting responses for the Reich that kind of go against my playthroughs, but hey, I'm a very minor, whatever. Hakan, obviously Hakan troop tree with only expos using something good. Unique legionnaire armor looks like they have been designed for female female babies, not for the men. What are those Teutonic shields, lol? The least unique gear to choose from among all factions, especially armors. I don't think their armor looks all that bad. Female babies? Oh, Sadina Alexis is going to have something to say about that. That's funny though. Giants, but it's understandable due to their low reasons. Generic response, I suppose. And Alan Tor, being a faction focused on 2 of the most broken things in Perisno, they are just boring to play with and against. What are the 2 most broken things in Perisno? Please tell me. I don't know what the 2 broken most things in Perisno are. I'm guessing, I don't even know. You tell me. 2 broken most things in Perisno. Beats me. Both giant factions equally, at least in Nephali. Oh, finally someone with culture. At least in Nephali are using mixed assets and somewhat different differential. So one guy says they don't use assets that change from Lord of the Rings. This guy says you at least different themselves. Okay. Opinions. But the Giants only pull assets from one source, and it doesn't feel like playing Perisno and RM around them. I kind of agree with that last statement. So you're not alone. Yeah, I usually start in Johar and make my own factions. I smash them easily. Yeah. Macavia gets no attention. True. But man, next guy's well, Macavia is Macavia. They're always there. They're more unique now. Yeah. Actually, they are getting new armor. I'll be showing a few of that later on. Expos is all I can say about it. They're just fine. All right, let's keep going. We got some faction ideas, which... How is the best way to show this? Actually, I'm just going to go in here. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. I don't want to go through all the Discord. Can you see pretty good? All right. All right. I'll try to get this centered as well, because if I go through Discord, there's a lot of random comments that I don't want to read. Theo Mine. If I missed your comment, please let me know, and we'll go over it. But yeah, I haven't got to Macavia yet, Dominus. We're still working on that. We're focusing on, I think we're at Nephali right now. Tofu's got a lot of good stuff coming for that. All right, let's go back to that. Theo Mine, faction name, the Jin Empire. There's already a Jin Empire. Jin, whatever. Troop tree description. Malay cavalry armed with hafted blades supported by crossbowmen, shield infantry positive with fireworks or early firearms. Yes. I love firearms. Do you even play Perisno? If you watched my stream yesterday, you would think no. I hope you didn't watch it. A great empire from the continent of Nadir. The Zan dynasty was formed from a failed rebellion by the Jin Emperor's bastard son. Now the Zan have dealt with it, the Jin looks to establish your form. So this idea basically brings the Zan in, or the Jin Empire in, which has been discussed a lot. I don't have too much to say about this besides it's possible, and it's just one of those ideas. I mean, I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes. All right. Let's go to the second one. We have Fraud Redire Ume. If I murder your name, I'm so sorry. I'm just good at it. Faction name, the Goshin or Bushan warriors, minor faction, mercenary troops. Oh, they're a minor faction. Okay. But minor faction troops, Rohin upgrades to human. We already have Ronin copies. To Yumi Ronin Archer, upgrades to Yumi Master and Kamikaze Ronin. That upgrades to Black Ronin, two-handed shield. Okay, this is basically a Asian faction, I assume. What remains of the noble troops that followed it? Okay, we got another Zan Jin kind of relation type deal going here. In this foolish invasion of Perisno, the remaining noble warriors and warrior monks under General Hirio meekly surrender after Zan was defeated and let what remains of his army settle in the lands between Reich and Macavia. I forgot, where does Hero settle relative? Okay. So, can I go back to the idea here? No, I can't. So these two ideas are very much the same. Basically different type of troop trees based off the Jin. Just different. Let's go to the next. Beckerman. Beckerman? Alright, let's do it, man. The Paladin of Twilight, ruled by a paladin vassal of the Grand Knight. Their troops are light shock cavalry focused with 200 infantry, little focus on range, and only a few crossbow users. Noble troops are swords and board infantry of knights in full plate. That doesn't sound too terrible. Bandits, pillars of sort were always roaming the lands and among their... I'm not going to read all of that out loud. If you want to read it, just pause the... I guess you can't pause the stream, or pause it onto YouTube. I'll try to pick out a few things I found here. So it's basically Order of the Twilight. Twilight was referred to a time at which they were conducting their shenanigans. You should know that, people. Okay. So they're basically honorable knighthood faction, basically. Would probably be more like a minor faction, I suppose. Sorry, dude, faction was called over at noon today. That's fine. I get it. I'm rather late, but I've had an idea for a new faction to replace Rahara. Make them based off the Red Immortals and the Persians. Everyone in their mods wants to make either Muslim-based faction, Greek or Roman, when it comes to the Middle East, but what if we went with an authentic Persian aesthetic? I already like where this is going. We could even make them full-plate mass like rumors the Persian Immortals to have. A faction based on these people could one of the ancient civilizations that exists in Rahara before Rahara. So far, one of the more solid ideas, honestly. That's fine. We can go over this in depth too. This is actually a really good idea, and I want to sift my ideas through as well. Beckerman is good because Beckerman is always Beckering. He's in the chat. Where does your name come from, Beckerman? What's that even mean? Just Beckering? Yes and no. More unique Perisno Archer Helm and Night Helm. Tell that to Arlegio. Arlegio? Sorry if I butchered that name as well. Perisno troops. Good idea too, but this is basically just a minor faction order that could be considered. But Beckerman being Beckerman. Alright, let's keep going. Crap. Let's go to 4. We got 2 or 3 ideas here. Alright, we got... I'm not even going to try to say your name because I'm going to get it wrong. Faction name, the Grandias Union. Short troop tree description, medium infantry spearmen, crossbowmen, light cav, pikemen, blunt piercing sidearm. Seems pretty generic. Pretty decent, I suppose. Lore, originally formed by those who wish to escape the hardships of war and terrible conditions but cannot afford to make the journey to the Falcon Lands. So these are... Let me see here. Are these Nefali then? They couldn't make it to the Falcon Lands? Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Your English is fine. These communities grew to prosper and call themselves. This is basically refugee type of faction. That's what I'm getting. One problem with this idea is I don't know. According to the lore and the troop tree, these would be a weaker type of Cretus. Because Cretus is very small, these would be a very similar type of faction. And I'm not sure these would fit in the Jahara lands because they would get wiped out very easily. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Yes, Rune Lord Sylvan we just did. We're at the 4th. I got 12 or 13 to go over. The best faction, personally getting more love. It's always getting more love. Yeah. We'll do a def blog. We'll go over more faction ideas. Because I got a lot more responses than I thought I would, honestly. Alright, let's keep going. Zevzur? I don't know. Republic of Velenaz. Okay. Major faction control of the eastern mountain coast and 2 outposts in the eastern of Kulan lands. So far the idea is solid because it focuses on land that Rahara has now. After the blood-thirsty conquests and genocides of the Reich in previous years, that's a really good intro. In 434, the remaining humans fled to other nations. Some, however, were not welcoming any. So they didn't like the Raharans. Fleeing to the deserted lands of the east, they formed their own factions and re-established the ghost towns of Velenaz to unite all who seek refuge. So another refugee faction idea, which is fine in itself. When Kaiser Otto launched a full invasion on Rahara, the Desert Kingdom begged surrounding nations to help. Only the Republic came to their aid. They managed to land many decisive victories against the Reich. Good luck with that. But after the death of Kaiser Otto in the Battle of... the new fighting style introduced by Burjit confused and dominated the Desert Kingdom and their villages. This is actually an interesting outline here. Very Mercen. I don't know what this word is. Close ties to the Draharan tribes, diverse in culture. So they're basically Draharan. Basic troop ideas. Lots of two-handed knight hammers and spears. Excellent foot knights, mediocre cavalry, nice longbows. So they're Toleranians / Draharans. Knight plate armor for most. How is plate armor going to work in the desert, though? Heavy plate armor. You're going to get your... I don't know. Unbreakable war with the Reich until 496 due to invasion. While Burjik sees peace with Tahar, she blames the Venetian intervention to battle for Father Forget. So I like how this person tied in a lot of the current lore, a lot of the future lore. So that's, in my opinion, this is a solid idea simply because of the tie-ins. The troop tree themselves are not the direction I would go, but still a solid idea. And this face guy, I don't know who that is. I don't know what your name is. Make Ingvar's mercenaries an actual faction? You won't. Try me. Alright. What else we got? You should bring that one in. Yeah, go ahead. You're fine with super far up. Well, I think yours is somewhere in here. We're still at 4. I haven't missed yours. No, I haven't missed yours yet. We haven't touched. I think yours is next. So I didn't like her Dahar. Nobody likes her Daharans. Mercantile. Okay, thank you. Heavy plate armor and desert just use those handkerchief electric fans. Yeah, they got a built-in air conditioner. Of course they do. Let's keep going. I think we're at 5. All too human. All right. Can you say how you pronounce this? The Kanala Nori? All right. Spearman faction sorted with throwing weapons like darts or throwing spears. So Drahara. Light to medium armored infantry with shields and curvy daggers that knock enemies down. The assassins. Lore. They're very distant and strangled cousins of the now almost dead Arullo. Ooh. What? That's a very interesting move you got there. People heavy living in the archipelago and troop tree houses from a huge storm wiped. Okay, that's tying in with the Arullo. Alright. The storm was not a natural one. The other was more developed factions, the Canarian director story. Interesting. A traditional curved dagger is made from the bones of certain kind of whale, which gives off an unusual glare in the sunlight. They are so shiny that enemies are hit. I can already see this being the most posted bug. They're so shiny that enemies who are hit with them are blinded before they're beaten and cut. This wire knife so shiny. That's going to be a very reported bug if that would be added. I can find pictures of a curvy looking dagger for tested. I also know if your gleaming would actually be implanted, they would just be super whitish. Yeah. The name itself is unique. Canalari, whatever. I butchered it now, sorry. To kind of ally or relation themselves with their Rollo, that's interesting too. Never thought about doing that, but we'll put this down. I don't know. I haven't read all of these yet, and this one kind of surprised me, so it's kind of too Drahari and Assassin to too, but hey, it could be something we could tie in. I'll go over this later too. Interesting idea though. Interesting idea. Yeah, it's closer to Telrania with bits of Drahara sprinkled in, yep. So like the Polynesian sea-based natives. That could be. It's a good idea. I kind of like the direction you went with it, or she went with it. Let's go to number 6. We have Arminius Fidywinks, named Misty Lake. Troop tree. Powerful militia units using weaponry meant to defeat armor, such as piercing, blunt, crossbow, noble units are the only mounted troops. Has access to magical enchantments for its top tier troops like Geldar. Okay. Let's keep going. The town of Misty Lake is one of the only free cities of Perisno. Free cities of Perisno. What does that mean exactly in the land of Perisno? Like free? Is it like, does it belong to no one or answer to no lord but themselves? Okay, I see. The citizens allow for free trade and refuge, but almost never divulge inner workings of your town. I would change the name if I go with that. The name itself isn't that, I don't know, faction-like, because it's more of a town name. Misty Lake could itself be a town, and I think it's already native, so change it. Misty Lake is populated by a mismatch of people from all across Perisno, from humans to Nephali, dwarves to giants. Most of the citizens are humans, however, they are made up from virtually entire militia. This kind of reminds me of the Hobbit, that one movie that I forgot the name, where that dragon burns that town. I don't know why this reminded me of that. The Lord of Misty Lake is an elected prince, chosen from prominent families of the city. The lords of surrounding villages are prince chiefs come. Okay. Early response. This is actually a pretty good. I'm not sure about the troops, so. Custom magical enchantments for super troops. Galdar doesn't. Well, we'll get back to that. While largely neutral to Paris' endless wars and not seeking to expand beyond its borders, like the Realm of the Falcon, like dwarves. Okay, Misty Lake is often menaced by the Khan Empire and Elantori and Nephali. Both of them seeing it as a neat little city to conquer. There, you got my vote. However, that is not like a fiercely protected city. Not a bad idea, honestly. I would just change the name of it, because a faction named after a city, not sure I would go with that, but still a really solid idea that could be worked with. All right, yes, I didn't know it was supposed to be based after Harness. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's my fault. Moana and Perisno, let's go. Let's go! Imperial City in the HRE or mission, okay. Lake Town. Yes, thank you. Lake Town. That's what I was going. I don't know. For some reason reminded me of Lake Town. If you want to get rid of Venator so much, we could just erase them and replace Venator at Misty Lake. This is the second best idea I've heard today. Do it. We'll do it. You got my vote. How do I... One second here. I gotta emote this. I like this idea. There you go. I like my idea with Venators, so I like both ideas, but I like that idea too. Let's keep going. We're at number 7, Ruin Lord Sylvan. Okay, this is one of the more interesting ones I found as well. I didn't go over it too much. The Insidium knows where it is all the time. And knows. Did I do this backwards? Is that your first idea, then you finished it with a second? I think you did. Let me check here. One moment. So is that different ideas, or is that just a different one? One second here. I think that's just a comment. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I saved the wrong one because, yeah, we'll just not read this for now. I knew there was something fishy with that one. I didn't read it too much. Okay. Here's the right idea. We'll keep going in order. 7 was the shit post. And, oh crap, I deleted 8. Whoopsie. Whoops, 1 second. A lot of trash open here. All right, number 8, let's restore that. My bad. All right. Faction Ingvarians, open to change. That's Ingvarians. That's not too bad, honestly. Troop tree consisting of former active mercenaries, equipment, flag based in varied backgrounds. Yeah. In general, though, you could focus on macemen, infantry, crossbowmen, pikemen to counter heavy cav charges, and a selection of light and heavy cav troops. Mercs are not noblemen, able to afford heavy plate generally. So this is basically the Merc troop tree line, or the Ingvar, with some variations. After a period of heavy war and heavy profit. Honestly, I do want the Ingvar Mercs to come back in some way or form in Bannerlord. If it's going to be like they are now, I'm not sure yet, but this is still a solid idea. If they're a faction, I like how they are now, or how they work now. That you actually are not really tied to anything besides the player getting their troops. It would be interesting if the AI went and got some troops, but that would be really hard to code. That would be really hard to do, but still a solid idea. Over the course of several years, Ingvar found himself standing in the head of a massive organization that makes the surrounding landowners, yes, expanding. We might have Battlelord timeline. He would be a little older, but maybe he's one of the guys that gets that old. Yeah, still a good idea. I like it. All right, what do we got here? I'm bored with the Minotaur into Pompeii. Yeah, we have to somehow make a volcano like an ongoing thing when you load into Perisno and all of a sudden a volcano appears at day 56 and the area where Venator stands is completely under lava. Yes, me too. All too human, me too. We're in this together. I like this idea too. I kind of like Venator because I'm basic, lol. Sorry? Make the tutorial of Perisno Lord and Arcanus dropping fire on Venator. Not a bad idea either. Yes. Yes, Venator gets Pompeii. Okay, doke, let's keep going. Was it 9? Yeah. Volya, number 9, the Kingdom of Dust. I don't know what to say to that. That's that caught me by surprise. The troop tree starts off with skeletons and no. Progressively get more armor. Unique units can be dreaded. Unit path, dreaded once used. Infantry path specs heavily into two-handed weapons and medium to heavy armor. Heavy armor. The Rangers spec heavily into throwing. Can be a reskin of leaf bombs to black smoke or use a bow. It would be really funny if they had throwing weapons and a leg bone that was sharpened. Hey, you could do it like zombies do it and rip off their legs and stuff and start throwing them. Start throwing at people or whatever. Cavalry doesn't really exist, but they could ride in a skeleton horse or some of the Spectre. This faction would belong into a bad dream. Like, you get knocked out someday and you wake up and a whole bunch of the Kingdom of the Dust come at you. The kingdom is simply built on bandits and banish a prisoner to go further, as most of the population are skeletons or zombies. This is also home of the extremely rare otherworlders, which are originally species of the location. They help them build up, okay. So this is basically similar to the Grazier in that one quest I'm seeing. I'm kind of, actually, I gotta be honest with you, I'm very much against adding more skeletons. It's kind of going too far against Perisno itself in light fantasy, but we're adding some medium fantasy stuff eventually. So I wouldn't say medium exactly, but I dislike the idea of skeletons and zombies in Mount&Blade Warband or Bannerlord.
Oh shit! What are we watching, boys?
We're watching a live stream. We're going over some faction ideas.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yes, sir. I haven't seen you on Discord before. What's going on?
Oh, not much. It's very rare when I hop on in this Discord because it tends to be pretty quiet, but it seems to pick up steam lately, so
All right.
that's
Cool.
neat.
Yes, sir. All right. If you're not speaking, just mute your mic. We'll go over this because there's a lot of background noise. But once again, anybody's welcome to pipe in if you want to. Just yeah. All right. Let's keep going with the next one, I suppose. We're at number 10. Admiral Knight. Faction name, the Pugan Traders. Another interesting name. Light infantry with high damage machete. Elephant. Warband. Hopefully Bannerlord will have a lot more accessible non-horse cav. Because elephants, I don't like elephants in Warband. And high damage machete. That's it? That's it. Okay, we're gonna get machetes and an elephant cav. That's gonna be one long. Never mind. That was a joke. All right, minor faction that sells you elephant cav and your very own elephant mount of faction equipment as well. Okay, it's a minor faction. I should have seen that with Pugan traders. The people of Pugan, is it Pugan or Pugan? Were once a proud people. The rainforest in their homeland gave birth to the mighty beasts known as elephants. Well, Perisno has elephants already. So, are these bigger or smaller? Not only that, their blacksmiths can make machetes that can cut through armor like butter. but sadly the Jin Empire with superior numbers and better military training subjected the fractured people of Pugan. Now there are just as many people who are conquered. Patriarch Pugan the Seventh is just king in name, with no real power and, like all presidents right now, with no real power and has to pay the tribute to the Jin Empire. One day he heard about the continent of Perisno, a land where the Jin Empire failed to conquer. This is a 2% chance of making Perisno, I gotta admit, because light infantry with high damage machete doesn't really... there's not a lot there, honestly, and elephant cav, that's basically Drahara already. We're trying to get away from that. If it's well thought out, then yes, but minor faction. I don't know. Number 11, let's do that. Emma Dracoon? Okay. Zelonia, or something I'm bad at naming. So this is a character in game. Zelonia. Light cavalry horse archers and heavy shot cavalry supplemented by spearmen and infantry archers. Parthia inspired. Parthia, I'm not quite familiar with that, I suppose. You can look it up. Noble troops are female, use their units that are similar to maidens of Tilana, but better armored. Branch into female assistant troops and better horse archers. So a heavy female-based faction. Interesting. Zolana failed in taking over Drahara and got captured. To rescue her cousin Farina forms an alliance with the Mazuru and distant Draharans. When doing so, she learns that Zolana has been executed. Enraged, she leads her army to Drahara. Upon reaching the capital, she defeats them in a pitched battle and executes... what's a pitched battle? I'm not sure what a pitched battle is. And executes the royal family along with many of their noble houses, replacing with prominent Siren and Mazuru lords. So this idea in itself is not bad. It could be adapted to something. The troops themselves, that would be very different. Just a major faction with mostly female troops. Or noble troops, sorry. Noble troops are female. Maybe there's a quest where you marry the heroes instead of Fern. Okay. Not a terrible idea, honestly. Just something a little bit different. I wonder if we could skin the sea dram into an elephant and be Pujan traders. We gotta do something with the elephants. Their hitboxes are just too messy. Pugans. Can someone tell me how Pujan is pronounced? Because I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Sounds very Southeast Asian flavor. Good. And the elephants change your own in ram gates. Yeah, so pitch battle, high intensity. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of pitch battle. Thank you. Only the nobles are female. Saw that. Sorry, my bad. The Parthian Empire is an interesting ancient Iranian power with aspects of both Indian and Middle Eastern influence. Thank you. I wasn't familiar with those guys. This is the most disappointing comment of the day. Where do I remote to this? Where's my cry emoji? Sorry. I was really looking forward to the Michadr stand. This is just terrible news. Everyone go emote this down. Sad face. Give it like 50. Pugan. Pugan? Pugan, thank you. Gun as in the thing that never... I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I thought that was soft sound. Pugan. Pugan. Alright, we'll go with Pugan for now. He's probably trolling, but I don't know. Michadr stand can just be an NPC that has a 1% chance of spawning in every town in Bannerlord, and when you get close to him, it enters the battle where you die. Yes, yes. We're getting some good ideas here. Michadr stand. Yes, sir. Number 12, we got Rune Lord Sovan. I think he continued that, so hopefully I didn't mess this up. The Zephilion Order. I like the name. I do. A meddling of Crusader-esque crossbowmen of varying quality with medium infantry. This faction would utilize a noble line of troops consisting of heavy infantry, prisoner rune warden, and heavy cavalry to overfame prisoner rune knight. So is this copying the troops or a variation of these two troops? That follows the inspired structure of the militant Masonic order administered by Grandmaster Phil Marshall taking. Okay. The lore. Nox of Zephilion, Perisno pilgrims, and by extension, Nox himself were always on the hunt for ancient relics of the old kingdom of Perisno in hopes that possessing such artifacts would strengthen Nox's claim to the ancient throne of Perisno. As such, in the year after 395, the Perisno pilgrims arrived. I won't read this out loud, it's too much, but I want to read this, so one sec. I'm going to say right now, reading the lore, it's a very solid idea. I like the name. I'm not sure of the troops themselves because I don't like copying troops that are already there. But it's still a solid idea. I do like it. And it's probably going to get added to my notes and maybe work with it. I'm not sure. It sounds, the name itself kind of sounds, what's what I'm going for? Lizardy, you know, like the I forget. I know what I'm trying to say, but it's like a lizard man, lizard type of people for some reason. All right, lore continue. The search of the Scepter King Garisic came to outlive Nox himself, as he descendants of Nox of the Philly found himself serving as the Grand Master's order of the Scepter. Made itself. Okay, this lore is pretty well thought out. And I do like it, and it would expand upon the Nox of Zephilion himself. So if this were to happen, essentially it would be similar to the Venator quest line, where you help Nox of Zephilion somehow, I suppose, and rise up and get a faction. But this is actually a good idea. We'll keep that in mind. Good idea though. All right. Yeah. Once we're done, Rune. Yes, I like that. If you get over a little bit, sure. I'll let you know if you're still on once we're done. We'll go over it. Lizard men exist though west of Arolo. Yes, they do. Michadr Stad comes to you with armed 2 long forgotten weapons, ledgers, rags, and Ventrilian sharp blades. Has anyone ever used a Ventrilian shard blade? It's pretty good. If anyone wants to cheat with it, though, it's a good weapon. All right, number 13. We got Proner. We'll just go with Proner. Hi, Proner. Cult of the Blood Moon. Should I read this, guys? Short troop through description. Yeah, they have like 3 units. Their lowest tier is a cult member, which is basically a light armored black hooded dude who wears a spike club. The second unit is a mounted raider who is decently armed for a mid-tier unit with white and brown armor of military. Alright, so they're... As soon as I saw your name, I knew what this was going to be about. All I can say is it could be a minor faction. Probably not. Cult of the Blood Moon. Some kind of Grazier knockoff. The boy who cried Ba. You just wanted me to read that. The Ryan Caliphate is an absolute monarchy that controls a great deal of the desert, and one of the reasons the Khan Empire is more equal footing than the rest of the countries in Perisno. They rely almost entirely on heavily armored camel cavalry, a great fit for the arid landscape they take themselves. Now this right here I like because it fits in with the desert. The Caliphate has always had problems with the new gods constantly sending crusaders their way because of their clear faith differences. But they're often too small to really pose a serious threat, and sometimes on the way these crusaders end up getting too comfy in the arms of some Telranian peasant. Yes, all right. Let's not drag the Telranians into this now. The camel idea, I do like the camels. I wish we had a few more assets for camel riders or heavy camels. They fit well, better than the elephants, in my opinion. And let's keep going here. Just basically more lore. I'll go over this out of chat because there's a lot of stuff to read here. I'm gonna say it's a pretty deep game from the start. There's a lot of lore related stuff as well, tying into the new gods, or is it new gods or old gods? I forgot to look. And Telranian peasant girls. Pretty good idea. No, it's fine. It's fine. I like it. Shard blade. Yes, it's a shard blade. Really? Oh, there you go. Not that one. Why does it not show up? Oh, I have it unbookmarked. I should have found it here. I think I updated it. That's strange. It's not showing up. Shard. Okay, I have it under shard weapons. It's a new type of weapon that was supposed to come to Warband, but it never made it because we weren't ready to that. I thought I added a little bit of it. I haven't finished it yet, so it's not the real Proner. I got scammed. Sorry, I had no idea. Everyone changed their name. That's Wolfie. Yeah, I got scammed. All of them were deceived when a Proner account was made. Deep in the fine was yeah. You got me. Camels already exist in Battlefield. Yes, I know it works. Right now in Warband, we don't have a lot of different camel assets. That's what I was saying. Yeah, there you go. That's the weapon. It does. It is the strongest weapon in the game, but you can't get it without cheating. So, and it has a few special abilities as well. I think it has. Every time you kill a Climorian, it gives your certain health back, I believe. I'd have to look at the code. But all right, let's keep going. I closed my document. Of course I did. Are we at 13? No. The Proner faker. The fake Proner's here. Let's go to 14. Elegant King. Time Assassin 103. The House of Wealth. Short troop description may be something that's descendant from the Perisno adventures that hang around the Kaiketh Mountain in terms of appearance. Very solid start. Maybe for actual troop types, you have a small linear tree since there being a minor, where they either focused on more hit and run tactic of hitting dwarven caravans. So here's kind of a discrepancy. Why would they attack the dwarves? Raiding dwarven mines in the outskirts. All right. Okay, now we're going to figure it out. Following years of expeditions sent to the Kaiketh Mountains raiding dwarven caravans and mines are huge sweats of wealth. The Kaiketh had enough of the Perisnoan explorers being banished in their lands. Crackdowns on the explorer groups intensified with many expeditions being turned back from the lands. Okay. I kind of like this actually. That could be an interesting idea. I was actually writing stuff about the dwarves the other day, some lore, and something similar came up, so we could tie that in, or do something similar. DVBS, Perisno Twilight Nights. That's, I think, the second idea consisting around that. But the faction name, Perisno Twilight Knights, would not work, for obvious reasons, because it's a troop name. Consisting in Perisno Twilight Knights, Perisno Twilight Squires, and Perisno Twilight Retainers. It's a subfaction of Perisno. Not necessarily be allied or hostile bandits. Foreign invaders like the Zan, all religious. How are they foreign invaders if they're named after Perisno? That's the first question. Okay, their order created long ago when the Ancient Kingdom existed. So are they invaders or were they created here? The Knights and Heroes existed. Received the test. You can see. That's a decent idea. There's just too many discrepancies that would have to be ironed out because a lot of this is going against current lore. And yeah, number 5. We got 3 more to go. Hang in there, guys. your PC's loaded, God. How would you word me so kind of you? I don't know how I feel about Blade's luck is oozing with fantasy. It is. It's not finalized. Thank you. It's just an asset we don't have yet. No. It's supposed to be shards, but we don't have assets. The sharp losing from shards coming. Back your man. Stay calm. This is the best comment. I'm not. Emote this. Emote this. Yeah, it's you can't spend your time better than listening to Bearded Man on the internet. What else would you do? Will the full stream be uploaded to YouTube? If I'm recording, yes. Let's see. Desktop. Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. Good night, all too human. All right, let's keep going. The Chematic Kingdom. Knight of Hell. That's an interesting name. Chematic. Medium armor, general purpose infantry, sword, spear, throwing weapon, shield. Basic stuff. Archers and crossbowmen. Cheaper. Throwing weapons with crossbows, with spears, with swords. General purpose. Cheaper crossbowmen branches with higher level archer branch. Medium armor, general purpose cav, and horse archers. Could we swap for chariots? Okay. Like that. Chariots, yes. I do like chariots. I wanted to make them for warband, but they seem like a lot more work than it was worth. So the chariot idea, if possible, yeah, I like the chariot idea. The Chematic Kingdom are distant descendants of the Chematic Empire. Yeah, I know. Ruled a vast territory from their homeland of the Natura River Valley. One time they got conquered, blah, blah, blah. Short but sweet. I do like this idea in its sense because the ancient Egypt, Babylonian, Phoenician, whatever ideas. I'm guessing that's the direction we're going to go with this faction, with this idea. So this is a good idea, a good one. Ancient Egypt, Ptolemaic. Okay, Mamluk Egypt. No, no Roman, please no. All right, we have. Yes, they lay. Chariots being pulled by dwarves. Those poor dwarves. The chariots work in Balnord. We'll make them work. We have early renders of the beasts, but we're not going to show them yet because they're not ready to be shown. They look hideous though, as they should be. All right, let's go. Were we 16 or 17? Yim, I think we were 15. Yeah. We got 2 more to go, guys. 2 more to go. Yim. The Krikpian worshippers. I'm assuming that's an Egyptian type of faction too. Krikiptian. I think I got it. The Krikiptian recruit. Soldier, rider, death guard, Malay. Seth, Jackal. These are very interesting names. I like them already. The riding units may ride some unique desert animal. Like what? The Animus Death Guard has an Animus mask, light melee armor, and very strong but fragile. A long time ago, before Dahara, was an ancient civilized called the Kriven. So, as I said before, these 2 ideas are very similar in their existence. So, I like both ideas. Short and sweet. Let's go to the last one, number 17, the Syndicate of Semog. After the fall of Drahara, many of the clans went back to worship their respective gods. The clan of Nabaku worshipped their snake god, the clan, okay. So these clans basically branched off and worshipped their own gods. The clans were specialized in different fighting styles. So this is basically an idea of what happens to the Daharans after they fall off. So Dahara will most likely be a minor faction, so this idea could, not this idea per se, but basically branch off. All right, I think this is the last one. Is Rune Lord Sovan still here? I think he wanted to talk about his idea. Chariot's being pulled by dwarves, and if you destroy the chariot, then 4 dwarves spawn from it. Someone please draw a picture of that. That would be hilarious. In rows or stacks, 4 arty guards. All right, our last thing. We can go to Rune Lord Sylvan's idea, and if anyone wants to chime in, we can go from there. All right, what you got?
Alrighty. So the original setup I was looking at with the Zephilion order, I like to pronounce it. I was trying to kind of build a old school Crusader monastic order that kind of puts the Perisno pilgrims in a more kind of unified idea, and it'd be almost like a search for the Holy Grail kind of story in the lore. So they're looking for the scepter of King Garciak, and if there were to be like a Venator styled quest, you could kind of put it in with you're helping Nox or you're helping his descendants. If we fast forward to Bannerlord, helping them to establish this faction in this new town and fight the local tribes around and try to hunt for the scepter. And as for the troops, I'd kind of just thrown that together when I was thinking it up, but now that I am thinking over it again, I would try to. Yeah, I think the only reason I put that Perisno Ruined Knight in there was because if the order is 100 years, going to be founded in 100 years in the Bannerlord time, that Nox would probably not be, but they would, like inherit his famous knights. But yeah, if kind of not looking for the repeating troops, I kind of understand if we wanted to make something more new for that. So I could probably come up with some new troops, but yeah, so it's kind of the lore I thought up for it, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got from it. I like the idea, as I said before. I don't have too much to add to that besides the names and stuff. But if you want, I wouldn't mind you writing a little more in detail stuff about it and DMing it to me.
Yeah.
So, thanks for sharing that, by the way. That was
yeah, no problem.
All right, what do you got in chat? Is that anything else? Tofu's going crazy in chat with Venator. Someone just calm her down. Anybody else have any last minute faction ideas you want to share live that didn't make the video or the live stream? Now's your chance. Da, da, da. Yeah, I know he did. We're going to go over our Legio's idea in the next dev vlog because I got to go over some stuff with him. We have some assets to look at too, I think. But if nobody wants to chime in, everyone's kind of a little dead. Not yet, not yet. Fitty Winks. There's more than one culture in America. Are you sure about that? All right, we're going to go over some assets. If anyone wants to get over some more ideas, you can. After the assets are done, I think that's all we had for this week's Feedback Friday. I don't have any Feedback Friday questions for next week yet, so drop them in the chat if you want. At me, please, so I can find them. And this did not work. This idea did not work here, so let's close that. I think I had a folder of some ideas. Let's see here. All right, we got, I think this made in game so far. It's for Limbard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is in game. For some reason, my arrows don't work. Macavia. Okay, now I see what's going on. This made it in game already in 1.31. It seems like if I zoom in, it will let me go to the next one. 1.31. Just some Limbard stuff. I don't think all of this made 1.31. It'll be in the next update. Just some more Limbard stuff from Legio. And all of the stuff we're showing is still work in progress, so it is subject to change as usual. And we got some like stuff. Am I allowed to show this? Yeah. Yeah, right. Ready. Just some different variations. I'll just show one of these more. Subject to change, the new dragon logo that people wanted. And we got some, yeah, this one is in game as well, I think. Or it's going to be in game soon. I think I had a few more here. 1 second. Where'd they go? All right, we got some Tolranian. Yeah, these Tolranian Knights are going to be in the next update. Maybe buff this a little bit as well. And we got, this is still a heavy work in progress too, or still a work in progress, I should say. It is based on the one and the only, the Perisno Guardsman helmet. So, asset-wise, that is all I got for you guys today. So, if nobody has anything to add, I think we should be about done for the day for Feedback Friday. Or if anybody has any questions or something. Too many capes. I like capes too. One thing to note, I'm not sure what happened with Twitch yesterday, but this stream seemed to go a lot better, so I might be just continuing using Discord for streams. No capes. All right, once again, for next week, drop your questions that you want to ask or whatever, and I'll send them out in the poll. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if you missed the stream, it will be up on Discord. The memes are incoming, so happy Friday, guys. Thank you for watching, and join me next time for some more Perisno.